and welcome to the fourth episode of China Tools. My name is Dennis and I am from Hooked on Wood. In this episode I want to talk about this beautiful T-ruler. And for those who follow my videos know that in the second episode I also talked about a T-ruler, and that was this Drillpro T-ruler. And I promise you I'm not going to talk about T-rulers in every episode unless there's something to talk about. And this is a different kind of T-ruler than I discussed in the second episode, and it is a new product on Banggood. And I'm really interested in this product because this is my number one choice kind of T-rulers. My teaser heading is finally the best T-ruler. And of course there is a little bit of clickbait, but at the other hand also not. So keep watching my video and let me explain why I wrote that line. So let's look a little bit closer to this T-ruler. The brand name is New, and I know that brand because I have more products of that brand name and I will review them in the future also. But what I like particularly about this kind of T-rulers is that they are light, they are flexible, and you can use them in many ways. So that makes this kind of T-rulers my first choice. So let's look to its fit and finish. I really like the combination of black, aluminium and those golden knobs. It's not too bling bling, it's just a very high quality appearance. But the first thing you notice is its clean look. That clean look comes because the engravings, the holes and the prints of the numbers are really razor sharp. And because of that you can easily read the numbers, although they are relatively small. The engravings are not that deep, but deep enough that you can use a pencil to follow a line to a hole. And I'm probably the only one who uses it that way sometimes, but because the holes are easy to find. But I like the possibility that you can follow the line to a hole sometimes. It has a resolution of 1/4 of a millimeter, and that is pretty high. I don't use that resolution, I only use the resolution of 1 millimeter that you can read out at both sides of the ruler. But if you want to go further than that, the 1/4 resolution is pretty easy to use. It's made of aluminium, and because of that there is some reflection, but I have to say that in most angles it's pretty good to read, so that's a very nice thing. And of course it has to be accurate and straight, and as far as I can see it is really straight, although it's a little bit difficult to see on this clip. So why do I like this kind of T-ruler so much? That's because they are light, they are flexible, they have a very high resolution and easy to read the layout and very versatile to use. With this T-ruler it's easy to draw a line at a specific distance from an edge. And I don't think there is a product that makes it easier than with this T-ruler. But also if you want to mark the top or the bottom of a piece of wood, it's very easy to do with this ruler because it has its scale at both sides. But also if you want to make a line across a board, it's very easy to make a mark at a specific distance and then extend that line. And because it's so thin, you can do it very accurate and easy. If you want to mark some points at an exact location, it's very easy to do with this ruler because of its layout, and you can easily see a line through those holes. And I don't think it's an easy way or a faster way or a better way to do it than with this kind of T-rulers. And like I say, it's very flat, so if you have to extend a line from a marking point, it leaves no shadow line, so you can always see that mark very good. And sometimes it's annoying when you have a thicker ruler with limited light condition, that it's harder to see that marking point. For those of you who know my videos, know also that I have an Incra T-ruler, and they are designed from the same basics, so they are pretty similar. So how do they hold against each other? Because they are pretty similar, it's not that the New can do something that the Incra can't, and vice versa. There's one thing the Incra can do, and that is it has a sliding ruler, so you can put it down and then you can, for example, set up the height of your bit of your router table. But I have to say I use it for about 4 years and I never use that option. And the reason for that is that I don't want to shift the ruler, and although I think it's pretty secured, I don't want to challenge it with sliding the ruler. If we look at the New, have sunken the ruler in the bar, and it has 3 points that secure it from shifting. So I like the approach New did to prevent it from shifting. If you look at the numbers, the bigger numbers on the scale of the Incra are bigger than that from New. But I have to say the quality of the engravings from New are so high that you can read all the numbers easily. If you look at the smaller numbers, then they are, I think they have the same scale, but from Incra are a little bit thicker. But again, from both are very good to read. The Incra have a scale as a wave pattern, and I have to say I like the clearer look of the New better. If we look at the ruler from the New, they have longer elongated rolls, and that means that if you want to draw a mark, that mark is better visible than with the Incra, and I think that is an advantage of the New. The reason why the Incra has less space is because they give more space to the 1/4 of a millimeter scale, and I have to say I don't use that scale, but if you use it, you probably think when you give it more room it's better to read. But I found it easier to focus when the holes are a little bit closer to each other. I found it easier to pick the right hole than when they stretch that holes more apart. Another thing is that the Incra is made of stainless steel, that make it, when you use a magnet, it sticks to the magnet, and the New is made from another alloy with less steel in it, so it doesn't stick at magnet that much. If you use to hang it on a wall or a magnet, this will work, but the New will probably fall off or doesn't stick that well as the Incra. And the last thing I found out is that the Incra is very good in absorbing reflections. You almost read out the scale in every angle possible. And with the New, it still is on a high level, but it's not on the same level as the Incra. So at the end I think they are pretty similar, and they are both high quality T-rulers. And if I really have to pick, then I think I pick the New, and that is because elongated holes are larger, so your marks are better visible, and it is more secured for shifting the ruler. But those advantages are really small. So does this T-ruler justify the teaser, finally the best T-ruler? Not yet. And the reason for that is because this kind of T-rulers also have some shortcomings. And one, they are really fragile, and you have to take good care of them. And they bend easily because they're flexible, but when they bend too far they get sharp dents, and then they aren't accurate anymore. When they are new, they are nicely flat, but after time they look like this. And that means when you draw a line, you always have to push them against the wood, and that is not always easy, especially when the rulers become longer. You can only use it with a 0.5mm pencil, and on wood with a nice surface that is not a problem, but when you want to draw something on a rougher wood, an 0.5mm pencil breaks too easy. And because the holes are so small, they are harder to find than when you have a T-ruler with 1mm holes, for example. In the second episode I talked about this Drillpro T-ruler, and I made a mistake to compare it with the Incra T-ruler, and because of that I gave it a low score. And now I see I made a mistake, because the strength of this kind of T-rulers are the shortcomings of this kind of T-rulers. So what I did was compare apples with oranges, and that's why the score didn't felt that good, because I have 2 of these T-rulers and I'm very happy with it. So I rated it too low, and I want to change that in this episode, because as a product on its own it has really almost no shortcomings. The only thing I wished for was that its edge was a little bit flattened. This T-ruler has 1mm holes, and you can use it with a pencil of 0.5mm and a pencil of 1mm. So you can use it on rough wood as on wood with a nice surface. This kind of ruler always stays flat, and that makes it easier to draw a line. And because of the holes that are spread on a larger area and the holes are bigger, they are much easier to find and to read out. And it is so much stronger and can handle abuse much better. And I really like to wear them in my apron. And this kind of ruler you better can put on the wall and pick it when you really need it. So of course the strength of this one is the shortcoming of this one. And now we come to the point where I can explain why I use the teaser, finally the best T-ruler. Because these two products combined supplement each other's shortcomings and make that it shines in every situation. And for the price for one Incra T-ruler, you almost have two of these. And that means together for the price, it is a really strong combination and I can highly recommend them. And this is the scoring card. We came to the end at the 4th episode of China Tools. I hope you like it and found it interesting. Forgive me that I talked again about T-rulers, but I like those products. I promise you, next episode we talk about something else. Thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time.